Welcome to the My Minds Online instructional video series. This video will provide you with an overview of the exploration permit application process. You can use the controls at the bottom of the screen to pause, rewind, and replay this video at any time. During this instructional video, we'll be covering the 10 steps involved in adding an application for an exploration permit using My Minds Online. The first step in lodging an exploration permit application is to access My Minds Online. You will use the username and password that you specified when you registered. Enter your username and your password and then click on the Sign In button. The first screen you will see when you log in is the My Minds Online homepage. There are several parts of this page you should be familiar with. The Applications in Progress section of the screen will list any applications that you have started and have not yet submitted. The Lodged Permit Application section of the screen will list any applications that you have lodged but are still in the assessment stage. The I Want To section contains My Minds Online functions and links to important information. The tabs at the top of the screen are where you can view your granted applications in the My Granted tab, and the My Detail tab is where you can manage your My Minds Online user information. Step 1 of the application process is where you will establish your permit details. From the I Want To section of the homepage, click on Start a New Application link. This is the application process screen. This screen contains important info on how to proceed with your online application. Once you have read this text, you can click on the Continue button to proceed. This is the Enter Permit Details screen. This is where you set up the general identifying and classification details for your permit. The first thing you need to do is enter the permit name for this application. This is a unique name that is for your reference only. It is possible that you will have more than one application to manage, so this name should be meaningful enough to help you differentiate one application from another. In the next field, you will choose the resource. In the current application process, you will only be able to choose the mineral or coal option. In the next field, you will specify the permit type. This is where you will select the type of permit. In this example, we will choose exploration permit for minerals other than coal. In the next field, you will specify the number of years of the exploration permit. You can choose up to 5 years. In this example, we will choose 3. Finally, you will need to authenticate the general locality for the land you are applying to explore. This is a brief description that will be used in the native title advertising process. Once you have completed all of the mandatory fields, click on the Save button to save the permit application details. Click on the Continue to Application link. That completes Step 1. You can click on Step 1 and change these details right up to the Pay and Submit step of your application. The permit application has been allocated a unique ID. This will be the reference for the application while it is being processed. It is important to note that a different permit number will be issued if the application is successful. The permit summary is where you can view the permit details that you have added so far. This will populate with the holder details when you complete Step 2. I Want To is where you can cancel your unsubmitted application and generate the details of the application so far in a PDF format. The application fee summary is where you will see the fees that will apply to this application. These fees will progressively update as you complete your application. Step 2 of the application process is where you will specify the holder details of the application. To start this step, select Step 2 from the application summary. This is the holder details screen. This is where you can add a company or individual holder and manage their details. In this example, we would add an existing company as the holder for this application by clicking on the Add Company Holder Details button. This is a screen that will enable you to search My Minds Online for your company holder. You can either type part of the company name into the name field or type the ACN. In this example, we will search for ABC Mining. You will now see a list of the companies that have met your search criteria. You can identify the company holder you are looking for by the ACN or the ARBN number displayed. If the company you are searching for is not on the list, you can either adjust your search criteria and try again, or click on the Create New Company Record button if the company does not exist on My Mines Online. In this example, we will choose the first company in the search result list. Enter the company details, including phone details and postal address details. All fields marked with the red asterisks are mandatory. The company holder has been added to the application. You can add additional companies or individuals to this application if required. In this example, we will stick with the ABC mining example. We will now need to enter the percent holding. Tick the authorised box and select the tenancy type. As there is only one company applying, we will select the tenancy type as sole holder. This is the AHR detail screen. This is where you can add or amend details of your authorised holder details. You must upload a letter of authority for the AHR. When the AHR details are complete and the letter of authority is uploaded, click on the Save button. Step 2 of the application is complete. The details of the authorised holder are now displayed in your permit summary details. You can edit these details at any point up to Step 10. Your attached letter of authorisation is now visible in the documents for this permit. You can click on the folder to view the document. Step 3 is where you will select the blocks and subblocks that will make up your land selection for your proposed permit. Click on Step 3 to start this step. This is the Select Permit Area screen. This screen will default to BIM, block and subblock. The Map Interface method is coming soon. Click on the Next button. This is the selection screen. This is where you will select the BIM and subblocks for your proposed permit application area. If you wish to further research the map area, you will need to use the IRTM system. You can complete the first row by choosing the BIM from the drop-down and then entering the block and ticking the required subblocks. If you wish to add a new row, just click on the Add a New Row button. Once you have completed your rows and selection, click on the Save button. Your land selection is now saved. The next step is to check the land availability report for overlaps, unavailable land and constraints. Click on the Next button to complete this step. Step 3 is now complete. Step 4 is land availability. This is where you can view the land availability report and enter any relevant information on conditional surrender and strategic cropping land. You will only be able to move to this step if you have completed your land selection in Step 3. This is the Area Summary screen. This screen will display your mining district, LGA, and the total of the area you have applied for. If in your land selection you applied for non-contiguous land or selected subblocks that exceed the maximum amount, you will see additional mandatory fields that require justification on your selection. Click on the Next button to move to the next screen. This is the Overlap and Constraint screen. My Mines Online will analyse your land selection from Step 3 and display any overlaps, unavailable land or constrained lands. You will need to analyse this report and return to Step 3 and adjust your land selection if required. Click on the Next button to continue. This is the Conditional Surrender screen. Conditional surrender is a process under the Mineral Resource Act 1989 where a granted current permit is surrendered in favour of a new exploration that incorporates some or all of the permit area included in the original granted permit. Here is an example of what a conditional surrender application would look like. If you're applying for a conditional surrender, you can do this by selecting the Yes radio button on this screen. You will then need to add the permit number of the permit you are surrendering by using the Add Permit function. You do not need to include the prefix of the permit, just the number. You need to provide a rationale as to why you want to surrender your permit. The surrender needs to form part of the larger exploration strategy for the holders. You can enter your rationale in the fields provided or attach a separate document using the document upload facility. The new proposed permit cannot be over the exact same land, but can incorporate a part of the original land. However, it must be in the name of the same holders and the full permit area in the original permit must be surrendered. In this example, however, we will click on No and move to the Strategic Cropping Land screen. This is Strategic Cropping Land screen. Strategic cropping land is land that has been designated as important for the long-term benefit of Queensland's agricultural industry. If your proposed permit area intersects with land that has been identified as SEL or potential SEL, there are a number of options that you can take. In this example, we will click on No. Click on the Save button when you have completed the information for Step 4. This is Step 5, Environmental Authority. Select Step 5. This is the Environmental Authority screen. This is a screen where you will choose the type of Environmental Authority or EA application for this exploration permit. You are able to choose between a standard application, variation application, site-specific application, application to amend, choose that the area is covered by an EA application submitted today for another permit application, or that this permit complies with the small-scale mining activities criteria set out in the relevant schedule in the EP Act for exploration permits. An application for a variation application for Environmental Authority must be made using the prescribed form. This form can be accessed and downloaded using the link on the page. You will also need to upload a map of environmental sensitive areas. This map can be found at the Department of Environment and Heritage Protection website. A link to this site is also provided on this page. Once you have these two files, you can upload them using the Browse buttons provided. An application for a site-specific application for Environmental Authority must be made using the prescribed form. This form can be accessed and downloaded using the links on this page. You will also need to upload a map of environmentally sensitive areas. This map can be found at the Department of Environmental and Heritage Protection website. A link to this site is also provided on this page. Once you have these two files, you can upload them using the browser buttons provided. An application for Environmental Authority to amend an Environmental Authority must be made using the prescribed form. This form can be accessed and downloaded using the links on this page. You will also need to upload a map of environmental sensitive areas. This map can be found at the Department of Environment and Heritage Protection website. A link to this site is also provided on this page. Once you have these two files, you can upload them using the Browse buttons provided. If the area of this permit is covered by an EA application submitted today, you can enter the application number into the field provided. If your permit complies with the small-scale mining activities criteria set out in the relevant schedule in the Environmental Protection for exploration permits, please select this radio button. By selecting this application type, you are acknowledging that an Environmental Authority application will not be sought, the permit area for this application does not exceed 4 subblocks, and the activities proposed for this permit application comply with the criteria set out in Part B of the definition of a small-scale mining activity. And finally, you are able to apply for a standard application for Environmental Authority. This Environmental Authority does not require additional application forms. It is completed as part of this form. By selecting the standard application for Environmental Authority, you are certifying that you meet the eligibility criteria and will comply with the standard conditions for the relevant activity. You must enter a name for this application. It will default to your project name. Please upload a map of environmental sensitive areas. Once you have made your selection, please select Next. You now must choose your Registered Suitable Operator status. There are 3 statuses to choose from: Registered, Not Registered, and Pending. If registered, please enter your registration number. All current EA holders become automatically a suitable operator. If you are unsure of your unique reference number, we have provided a link at the top of the screen to the EHP website. If you select Not Registered, you must upload the Registered Suitable Operator application. At the top of the screen, we have provided a link to this form. Please complete and upload. If you have made an application to become a registered suitable operator but have not heard back from EHP, please select Pending. Once you have completed, please select Next. This is the EA Assurance and Fee screen. From this screen, you are required to select the area size and the risk level of your project. This will automatically calculate the financial assurance fee. From this menu, you can choose the category that your land selection falls into. Your EA fee will be added to the application fee summary. Your EA maps and applications will be also added to the application. The next step is Step 6, Native Title. Select Step 6 from the Application Status Summary. This is the Native Title Process screen. From this screen, you'll be able to view what native title exists over the permit area that you have selected in Step 3. Based on this information, you will be required to select the native title process you wish to undertake. If you select Yes, I elect to undertake a native title process, you will be required to choose the option from the process menu. For this example, we will choose Expedited. This is the native title acceptance screen. From this screen, you will choose how you'd like any native title fee overpayments to be made. You will also confirm that you comply with the native title protection conditions. This is the native title advertisement screen. You will need to read the text of your ad and confirm that it is correct. If it is not correct, you will need to cancel out of this screen and return to Step 1 to amend the locality field. You will also need to choose your preference for advertising this notice. The option you choose will have an impact on the native title fee. This is the native title assessment confirmation screen. The purpose of this screen is to provide a summary of the native title options you have chosen. If the details are incorrect, you can click on the back button to review your options. Your native title fee has been added to the application fee summary. The next step is Step 7, Work Program. To begin this step, click on Step 7 from the application status summary. As part of the assessment process, we need to understand what you have planned for the proposed permit area. The proposed work program should be designed around the rationale and the resultant exploration model. The work must be divided into annual work programs, with a work program for each year of the application, each discipline, and costed on current market rates. Step 7 of the My Minds Online application form will require you to enter activity by activity, year by year, information for your work program. Click on the Add Activity button to add an activity. The Add Activity screen is where you will add the information into your work program by specifying the year, the discipline and activity, the activity-specific information, and costing. An example of a Year 1 activity may look like this. The activity has been added to the proposed work program, and that activity is now costed to Year 1. As you add each activity for each year, the activities will be costed per year and give you an expenditure per subblock. You need to add activities that cover each year of the permit that you specified in Step 1. This is the Work Program Rationale screen. This is where you'll provide a rationale behind the work program. You can either enter a simple work program into the fields provided, or upload a work program using the upload facility provided. In this example, we have added a work program rationale. You have the option to reference research that you have collected to support the work program rationale. This includes government and privately sourced research. You can link to government-sourced QDEX reports by clicking on Add the Report button. Enter the report number and a title for the report. Your report link has been added to the work program rationale. You also have the option to upload any other privately researched information that has been used in preparation for this application. The work program rationale and research documents have now been added to the documents for this permit application. The next step is Step 8, Financial and Technical. Click on Step 8, Financial and Technical Capability from the Application Status Summary. This is the financial screen. This is where you'll supply a capability statement and supporting evidence to demonstrate your ability to fund the proposed work program. The first step here is to specify whether you have more or less than 10 years experience in Queensland with good compliance. If you choose the first option, you can draw upon your previous exploration history. If you choose the second option, you will have to supply additional information to support your application. In this example, we will choose the first option. With option 1 selected, you are required to detail any other resource and production commitments in Queensland. This information can be entered in the field at the top of the screen or attached as a document. You are also required to upload a financial capability statement. This should include detailed information on the holder's capability to fund the proposed work program, details and percentages of in-place or confirmed funding, details and percentages of the work program that relies on future or prospective funding. This statement needs to be from an appropriate authorised officer like a CEO or a CFO. In this example, we have attached a financial capability statement and a statement on other financial commitments in Queensland. This is a technical or human and resource capability screen. In this part of the application, you are providing information that demonstrates your ability to meet the human and equipment requirements to support the proposed work program. You will need to upload a technical capability statement and have the ability to upload a third-party declaration if a third party is providing resources for your work program. The financial, human and equipment capability documentation has been added to the documents for this permit. The next step is Step 9, Understanding your obligations. Click on Step 9, Understanding your obligations from the Application Status Summary. There are legislative obligations that arise as a result of the grant of a permit or as a result of activity undertaken on a permit. The list of obligations on the screen will arise or are likely to arise if this permit application is approved. Once you have read and understood the obligations, tick the box to indicate that you agree to the obligations associated with the permit. The final step is Step 10, Pay and Submit. You can only move on to Step 10 when Steps 1 to 9 are complete. Select Step 10, Pay and Submit from the Application Status Summary screen. This is the Select Payment screen. In the Fee Details section, you will be able to see a breakdown of the fees that are payable for this application. In the Payment Methods section, you will be able to choose what payment method you would like to use for this application. For this example, we will choose credit card. Click on the OK button to confirm this payment method. This screen will confirm the steps that are necessary to pay permit application fees by credit card. When you have read and understood the payment method, click on the Pay and Submit button. This is the Queensland Government Electronic Payment Gateway. Although you are not in My Minds Online, you will still be able to view a summary of the fees that are payable for this application. Click on the Pay by Credit Card button to proceed. This is the Pay by Credit Card screen. This is where you will enter your credit card details. Once these have been entered, click on the Pay Now button. This is the Receipt screen. From here you can download a receipt, but keep in mind that you will be automatically emailed a receipt. Once you have finished, you can navigate back to My Minds Online. All of the steps to submit this application are complete, and the status for this application is now submitted. The application will now go through the acceptance assessment process. This will evaluate the suitability of the application to be accepted into the assessment process. That concludes the My Minds Online instructional video. You can use the controls at the bottom of the screen to review the video's content. Watch our Exploration Permit Applications My Minds Online video on YouTube.